This video is intended for viewers aged 13 and up. If you are not 13 yet, please leave. Hello everybody, my name's Kanohii Mineka, and now, to end this week, it's time to finish this week of reviews. Yeah. With the figure that is honestly probably the hardest to get. I know I said Dr. Doom was the hardest to get, but this one is probably technically the hardest to get because you will have need to get, I know words. You'll need to have gotten Dr. Doom and everyone else for this. Because this is a Build-A-Figure. If you don't know what a Build-A-Figure is, it's basically what Marvel Legends like to do is have pieces of another larger figure within their waves of figures, you know? So, yeah. And for the Fantastic Four wave, that Build-A-Figure was the Super Skrull. Now, to clarify specifically, this leg right there, that leg came with Dr. Doom. That leg came with Mr. Fantastic. The torso came with Invisible Woman. This arm and its representative accessory came with the Human Torch. This arm came with the Thing. No, wait, no. This arm came with She-Hulk. Sorry. And the head came with the Thing. Ah, jeez. Man. And all in all, you get one tall figure that, if you want, you can technically say is the most expensive figure I own, I guess. Though I feel like that's kind of cheating a bit. So yeah, Super Skrull. I'm gonna keep him like this for most of this review because this is his basic look, and this is how I typically keep him because here he just kind of looks like a normal Skrull, and I feel like he could be an army builder in theory, but starting off with the head, I think it's pretty well done. It looks like the Skrulls, you know? It looks like your typical Skrull. He doesn't have pupils, and he has a very much more contemporary kind of man face. And he's got his weird alien ears, but yeah, he very much is a Skrull, and I think it's very well done. I really like the baldness of the head. And yeah, I just think it's very well done. The body has the iconic Skrull colors, you know, your black inner torso with the weird spikes, I guess, and then the purple outer bits, you know? And I think they pulled it off really well. Maybe I kind of wish the purple was a bit brighter, because it's a pretty dark purple. I kind of wish it was maybe a bit of a lighter purple, I guess? Like, slightly. Maybe 1 or 2 tones. I don't know. Brighter. But, yeah. Overall, I think it's very well done, though. And the shoulder pads here in the center bit is a bit rubbery, I guess. And that just kind of adds a little bit of different texturing, which is always greatly appreciated. The arms are nice and buff, and the painting on the gloves is pretty decently well cut off, you know? It's a pretty decent arm cut off, which I think is always great to see. And moving on to the legs, they're nice, big, and bulky, which I guess is what you're supposed to expect from a Super Skrull? I don't know. And yeah, I think the boots are also really well done because they're their own individual piece. And these are the most basic feet in this entire wave. Because everyone else has weirdly sculpted feet. Because Dr. Doom, I didn't mention it in the Dr. Doom review, sadly, he's got his cool metal feet. She-Hulk has weird human feet, and everyone else has weird bumpy feet. And then the Thing has rock feet, which is weird. But yeah, I guess that's him up close and personal, I guess. Now, moving on to accessories, since he is one of the smaller Build-A-Figures, I mean, he's not small, but he is one of, like, the more kind of basic Build-A-Figures, they compensated with a pretty decent amount of accessories. Unlike many other figures, he doesn't come with separate hands, he comes with separate arms. This is to convey the power set that he has. Now, coming in with She-Hulk, he has this nice kind of clear, stretchy arm, which is meant to convey the powers of Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman kind of combined. Meanwhile, with Human Torch, it comes with this hand, and I don't know where the flames went. They're kind of a rubbery piece that goes over this, thus they tend to fall off a lot, which is kind of a complaint, but it's nice that it's also can just be a hand, I guess. But yeah, this is your Thing Human Torch hand. And in order to swap them out, you gotta pull off the arms, which is easier said than done, which I'm going to pull out the arms, and I'm going to put these arms in, and then I'll be back with you right after this cut. You know what? I'm not going to do it, because these arms are really stupid tightly placed in there, which, I mean, it's good to have a very solid piece, especially when you're going to have a Build-A-Figure like this. However, if you're intending to have swappable hands, I kind of wish that the arms were a bit more malleable. So yeah, imagine that being on there, I guess, and that being on there, I guess, you know? So, yeah. However, those arms aren't the only accessory he comes with. He also comes with a swappable head, which is a lot easier to do than those stupid arms. You just pop the head off super easily, put on this new head, which I'm going to go off camera to do it because I just need to push it on, and boom. Here we have Super Skrull with a brand new face, and I think it's very well done. You know, it's a nice smirking, smiley, creepy head, which works very well, and I'm going to probably keep it on there for the rest of the review. I wish those accessories worked better, but he still works super well as just a normal Skrull figure, I guess. But in order to see that, we need to swap over into the articulation section. The head, super stereotypical. Ball joint that allows for a swivel, and allows for up and down a little bit, and your little bit of rocker pivot. However, there's also the hinge that allows them to look up super far and down super far, and I really do like how this kind of looks like a cutoff to kind of make it look like, I don't know, like a shirt with an undershirt, I guess. Whatever, that's a little bit of extra sculpting detail I want to talk about. Arms, and here I've actually got to talk about the individual arms as well. So the typical arm has your typical swivel around, though here it can get a bit limited by the rubbery bit. It can move out, and this arm for me is just super tight. Once again, I really wish the tolerances were a bit loosened up a bit on some of the bits. The biceps are able to swivel. There's a double jointed bend at the elbow, and typical hand hinge swivel joint that is typically seen on Marvel Legends. Invisible hand has same hinge here, same bicep swivel, and a same double joint, but it has different levels of range since the arm's longer, I guess. And same, like, boop-a-da-boo, and then boop-a-da-boo. This is the kind of accessory I kind of wish came with him, so I could see myself repainting this arm, or getting a bunch of these arms, repainting it, and then, yeah. Meanwhile, for the thing hand, it does get limited by the fire, so just keep that in mind when I'm going through this. It's able to swivel and hinge, though once again, that's really tight. It has a double jointed bend, though it is a lot more limited because the lower arm is a lot thicker, and the hand has a hinge swivel similar to the thing, so it's a bit tight, honestly. So, yeah, those are the special accessory parts. Now moving on to this figure's torso, he has a swivel at the waist, which allows him to go forward and back, and he has an arcing back crunch system, which allows him to crunch in that far, arch back that far, which is able to give him a lot of interesting alien poses, which I think is really cool. Legs, typical ball joint system, where he's able to kick out that far, kick back not super far because of the butt sculpt, and move out pretty darn good, which is one of the better spreads in the wave, in all honesty. He also has a thigh swivel, a double jointed knee, which is able to get up about that far, which is limited by the buffness. He also has a boot cut, which is really nice, which I talked about boot cuts in an earlier video. Go check them out if you haven't. I think I talked about it maybe in the Human Torch video, or at least the Superior Octopus video. Check one of those out if you want to see my thoughts on boot cuts. And then you have your typical foot, which is able to arc forward, arc back, and pivot like so. So that is this dude, I guess. This guy articulates very well, and I think it's very much worthwhile, in all honesty. I think he's just really cool. So now, moving on to size comparisons, he clocks in at being a good bit taller than a lot of the other figures, clocking in about 7¼ inches tall to the top of his head, which is pretty darn good. I think that some of the figures are able to clock him a bit in height, but it's fine, I guess. Sure, whatever. And compared to other figures, here we have Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, the Thing, She-Hulk, Doctor Doom, and the amazing Yamaguchi Bleeding Edge Iron Man. I had to end off on him, of course. And here he is with the entire wave that makes him up. And honestly, I think this is a very strong wave. Getting the entire Fantastic Four, who are all pretty decent figures, as well as a She-Hulk and the Fantastic Four's main villain. Yeah, I don't really think there are any duds here. And for me, the closest thing to an undesirable figure, I guess, out of this wave is She-Hulk. But when you're so close to the Build-A-Figure, you might as well pick it up anyway. So I think this is just a very well made, very well thought out wave. You know? Rather than just sprinkling the Fantastic Four through a bunch of other waves, just get them all out there. Get basically your whole Fantastic Four pantheon out there while you still can. So yeah, I'm gonna reorganize these guys though, so that they are in the order that I like them, from worst over here to best over here. So time lapse in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright then, here's my ordered list, I guess. So at the back of the pack, I have Invisible Woman Sue Storm. I'm sorry. I just feel like the Marvel Legends female figures aren't as good as their male figures. I don't know, I guess it's just that she has less articulation, and especially since she has her high heels, her platform boots, I guess. She doesn't have a very steady stance, and when you're trying to pose her with the shield accessory, which I think is a very nice accessory, it kinda has issues, and I wish she was able to balance herself better. At number 6, we have Reed Richards. I think he's fine as his own figure. I like how thin he is. I like that not every figure is a super duper buff dude, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I just wish that his stretchy abilities were a bit more thought out. Like, I wish they kind of looked more like this, and I think the Walgreens exclusive had stretchy abilities like that, but... sorry. This one doesn't have that, which is very unfortunate, but what can you do? At number 5, we have She-Hulk. She honestly came just straight out of nowhere to get to that spot. I think she's very well made, very well thought out. Some great articulation, a very good feeling figure with some decent accessories. However, she's so low because she was the one figure I didn't really want from this wave. I only really wanted her to finish up Super Skrull. You know? Which does push her back a bit. She's the only one who kind of feels left out. Like, maybe if it was like She-Hulk when I think she was part of the Fantastic Four. If it was that look, then maybe it would be a bit more fitting, but this is more of a contemporary She-Hulk, so... And, it's not even a basic She-Hulk. It's a bit of a weird She-Hulk, so, yeah, I guess that's why it's down there. Next up, Johnny Storm. Out of the normal human-looking ones, he's probably the Fantastic Four figures. He's probably the best one, the most well thought out. I like the way his accessories are done, because for his powers, you would have to typically have him basically have an entirely different figure, which I'm pretty sure the Walgreens exclusive one is his Flame On look. So having the flame hands, I think, is a decent compromise, you know? And I just feel like he rocks the look the best, I guess? I don't know. Next up is the Build-A-Figure, the Super Skrull. Now, I feel like he's a very great figure, you know, on his own. But I would like him better if he wasn't the Build-A-Figure. Because, he takes a lot to get, you know? So I don't feel like it's entirely worthwhile. And I feel like these accessories, since the arms are starting to take off, I barely use them. Because I just keep the normal arms on there, because those ones are very weird. And if you want to go with those powers, go all out. Make it so that his legs are weird too, you know? But no, it's just the arms, and it just kind of looks weird. I do like the figure, I just don't think he's a great Build-A-Figure. Now, who I kind of wish was the Build-A-Figure was the Thing. Because the Thing is a great bang for your buck. He's like $20, and you get a huge, honkin', heavy, big figure. However, his problem is that he has a lack of accessories. I kind of wish he came with open hands, I guess. you know, which you probably would have been able to achieve with a Build-A-Figure. Seeing stuff like Fat Thor having his open hands, because he's just slightly more massive than Super Skrull. So, yeah, I kind of wish he was the Build-A-Figure, but I do like that they made each of the Fantastic Four their own figures, so that you don't have to buy the entire wave to get the whole team. But a lot of people are going to be buying most of the wave anyways, because the number one figure is not a member of the Fantastic Four. It's Doctor Doom. I mean, what were you expecting? He is the best figure out of this wave. He was one of the best figures I picked up this year. His sculpting is great. He has the most unique sculpting, I'm pretty sure, out of all of these figures. Because the Thing mostly reuses stuff. I feel like the only one who has super unique, I guess, would be She-Hulk. But she probably reuses a lot from other female figures. I feel like the basic, like, shaping of the body is very similar to other female figures. They just added a bit more buffness to the chest. Well, not the chest, the abs. And added, and just made it bigger and added a bicep swivel. That's just how I feel. But Doctor Doom, he's basically entirely a new figure. The only things that I'm pretty sure are reused is this hand. Because I'm pretty sure this came with the Spider-Man 2099 mold that Superior Octopus also uses, who I reviewed a couple weeks ago. Wow, yo, check that out. Check that review out. Ooh, cross promotion. Ooh, baby, yeah. But yeah, he is just unequivocally the best figure. He's got the most stuff, the most interesting stuff. I do wish he had electricity effects, kind of, but for what he is just great. If you want those electricity figures, I guess you just get the evil Iron Man, I guess, that Doctor Doom was also, but whatever. But yeah, this is my thoughts on the entire wave. Ooh, I dropped the camera. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the entire wave. So yeah, but what about my thoughts on the figure in question? I feel like I got a lot out of the way in that last section about this figure, in the last section, when I compared to literally everyone. I feel like he's a fine figure. He's a pretty good figure, actually. He's one of my favorite of the wave. He's got some great pieces, great accessories. You know, I do really like the concept of the superpower pieces, though I wish that the arms were a bit more malleable, at least on my copy, to be able to compensate for having to pull off the arms all the time, because right now it's just really tight, which is probably a problem with them reusing a torso from a different character who doesn't have his arms get torn off all the time. However, my problem is that I kind of wish he wasn't a Build-A-Figure. He compared to other Build-A-Figures that I've seen, he just doesn't seem worth it, you know? But hey, I already had most of the wave. I thought that, hey, might as well finish him off since I'm so close, and I think that's how they get you. But they're like, oh yeah, you're so close to finishing him up, so might as well finish him up, you know? But yeah, I'd say get him, since it does take getting the rest of the Fantastic Four wave to get him, and the Fantastic Four wave is honestly really good. It's the one Marvel Legends wave that enticed me to get a whole wave. And for the wave, it's really good. Like I said, get it all primarily because it's got a whole team, their villain, and I guess another figure. A couple of their villains, including him, I should say. A couple of their villains, yeah. As well as a character who I think might have been there, but also a decent character who doesn't get a lot of action figure representation. But yeah, that's this video. I cannot promise you when the next video will be. I'm going back to school. I got school starting up. I mean, school's already started up for me by the time this video is released. But that's school starting up, and school is honestly a big priority for me. And so I don't know when I'll have time to record stuff like I did this summer. But my goal for the summer was to get as many videos out as I could. I wanted to try to go for weekly toy reviews, I guess. And I feel like I got very close to doing that. I missed 2 weeks. But 1 week was because I was working on a model kit and working on a photo contest, and the other week was because I was planning out this. Well, sorry. So yeah, I feel like this summer I was quite productive. So yeah, I hope to see you in another video. I'm definitely posting more, but I guess I'll just have to see you after a break, I guess. A bit of a hiatus, I guess. I'll see you when I next review stuff. I feel like at the latest it'll be November or December because I've got something coming in, and that's going to be like another big event like this. Another event that takes basically a whole week's worth of uploads to review, and they're going to be a bit less disjointed than this one was. So yeah, I hope to see you at least by October, late October to late November-ish at the latest, because there's something coming in that I want to review. If you know the kind of toys that I've been reviewing recently, well not Marvel Legends, but like what I've been getting into recently, you can probably make guesses on what that thing that I ordered for a review is down in the description below. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.